This is a tragic story of a resilient girl being pushed to the edge by her mother, who values sons over daughters. Hello everyone, welcome to Mystery Case Revelation. Today, we're discussing the suicide case of Hubei's top college entrance examinee. Yuan Yuan, born in 1979 in Yishang, Hubei, had a happy childhood. Her father, a rare college-educated man back then, worked as a technician in a chemical plant. He was cultured, gentle, and well-paid, providing a happy childhood for Yuan Yuan and her younger brother. But this all came to an abrupt end when she was 6. Her father passed away due to illness in 1985, and her mother, Wang Rufeng, spent all the family savings on his treatment. At that time, Yuan Yuan was only 6, and her brother, Pimping, was just 4. In those days, it was extremely tough for a 33-year-old single mom to raise 2 young kids. What's more, Wang Ruifeng, with only a primary school education, had no marketable skills. She had always been a homemaker. After her husband's sudden death, the family fell into poverty. She finally found a low-paying job in a remote military factory in Hubei, and the family lived a hard life. Actually, Wang Ruifeng had been a good student in her youth, and once dreamed of going to college. But due to various reasons, she dropped out before junior high. She attributed her misfortunes to her lack of education and pinned all her hopes on her children. She often told them that education was the key to changing their fate. Fortunately, both siblings were diligent and consistently topped their classes. Despite not having to worry about their studies, Wang Ruifeng had to deal with the daily struggles of raising 2 kids alone. Gradually, she became a complaining woman. Every day, she had endless grievances and complaints. But the siblings were very considerate and obedient. Little did Yuan Yuan know that this compliant trait would later ruin her life. Yuan Yuan had wanted to be a lawyer since childhood. She intended to apply to Dalian Law School but was rejected by her mother, who said, "Studying law doesn't pay well, and Dalian is too far with high travel costs. Listen to me and study economics nearby. You can earn big money after graduation, and this family counts on you." Though reluctant, Yuan Yuan obeyed her mother and was admitted to Wuhan University's economics department in 1998. Initially, she was full of hope, believing her top student status would change her life. However, upon entering the business school, she realized she had no interest in economics. But changing majors was impossible, so she resolved to pursue a law master's degree in the future. It should be noted that despite being in college, Yuan Yuan's mother earned only a few hundred yuan a month, insufficient to cover the schooling of both siblings. As the elder sister, Yuan Yuan felt responsible for her brother's education. She funded her studies through part-time jobs, even walking long distances to save bus fares. In her freshman diary, she wrote about the hardships of giving private lessons in the rain and carrying goods back. She saw these ordeals as a way to cultivate self-reliance rather than just making money. These experiences, though arduous, were the happiest 2 years of Yuan Yuan's life. Looking back, the summer of 2000 marked the beginning of her downfall. That year, her brother was also admitted to Wuhan University. Coincidentally, the old military factory was relocating, offering new urban housing to employees for 35,000 yuan. This was a huge sum for the family. After brief consideration, Yuan Yuan's mother decided to forgo the housing and instead move into the university dormitory with her daughter to save on rent. At just under 50, Wang Rufeng could have managed on her own, but moved into school dormitories aren't meant for parents. Usually, when students bring parents with disabilities, the school accommodates them and praises the students' filial piety. But Wang Ruifeng, able-bodied, faced resistance from other female students when she tried to move in. Initially, they tolerated her, thinking it was a short stay. But when she settled in, cooking and knitting, turning the dorm into a mess, the students had had enough. They approached Yuan Yuan, but she dared not confront her mother. The situation escalated into arguments and isolation. Wang Ruifeng's aggressive behavior, even reducing students to tears, made Yuan Yuan feel ashamed and unable to face her peers. The students reported the issue to counselors and the school. When confronted, Wang Ruifeng retorted, "I'm not taking another bed. Why can't I share with my daughter?" Yuan, embarrassed, pleaded with school leaders. Out of sympathy, Wuhan University made an exception, granting her a single room and a stall for her mother's income. Wang Ruifeng was satisfied with this arrangement, oblivious to the fact that her daughter had become a laughingstock. Yuan, feeling the students' stares, tried to resist by asking her mother to leave. But Wang Ruifeng erupted, accusing her daughter of being ungrateful. Yuan, inexperienced, had to give in. Wang Ruifeng's behavior caused severe psychological trauma to Yuan. She began monitoring her daughter strictly, even watching her bathe and use the toilet. Despite this, Yuan still harbored hope that her life would improve after graduation. In 2002, Yuan graduated. But contrary to her expectations, her life didn't improve and instead plunged into a new quinting. That year, she faced her first major setback, failing to enter her dream law program at Peking University. This, combined with her lifelong aspiration, caused a severe mental blow. In the following years, Yuan wandered in Wuhan with her mother, taking on various jobs like English teaching, insurance sales, and street vending. One might wonder why a university graduate didn't seek proper employment. The reason was she didn't have her graduation certificate. She had a student loan of 3,970 yuan, and upon graduation, the school withheld her certificate until she repaid it. It took her 5 years to save that amount from her living expenses, finally clearing the debt in 2007. Lacking a diploma, Yuan struggled to find stable jobs. She couldn't join her peers in big cities like Shanghai. In this desperate situation, her life worsened. Her classmates became industry elites, while she became increasingly withdrawn after failing postgraduate exams twice, even cutting off contact with old friends. It's hard to believe that such a small loan could overwhelm a top student. The only explanation is that Yuan also supported her brother and mother. It's incomprehensible how a young woman endured such immense pressure for so long. More perplexing is that her mother rejected many good job opportunities for her. Yuan tried to save herself. She believed more knowledge would improve her life. While working, she studied and was admitted to Peking University Law School, but couldn't afford the 30,000 yuan tuition. She also passed civil service exams in her hometown in Guangxi, but was mocked by her mother for choosing poor areas. Even when Northwestern University offered an interview, her mother stopped her, calling it embarrassing to go to a backward place. Wang Ruifeng had always dreamed of her children living in big cities like Beijing and Shanghai. Having worked in Shanghai for 5 years in her youth, she often reminisced about its fanhua. She wanted her children to have a better life. In 2008, Yan's brother was admitted to a Beijing University's graduate program. This made Wang Ruifeng belittle her daughter more, calling her useless and a disgrace despite her education. Under her mother's constant ridicule, the stress of life, and seeing her peers' success, Yuan's mental state deteriorated. Yet, she still sought a way out. She thought pursuing a postgraduate degree would gain her mother's approval, earn respect from peers, and change her life. Finally, she was admitted to Shanghai Maritime University's International Law Master's Program. Yuan thought she could finally breathe easy. But a new problem arose: what to do with her mother. She didn't want to bring her to Shanghai, an unfamiliar place with high living costs. As a self-funded postgraduate student, she had to earn her own tuition and living expenses, making it difficult to support her mother there. She discussed this with her brother, who agreed to take in their mother. But Wang Ruifeng refused, preferring to live with her daughter and fulfill her Shanghai dream. So, she decided to move to Shanghai with Yuan, pushing her closer to the edge. At 30, Yuan had no friends, no romantic experience, and no savings. She just wanted to escape her hardships, but was forced to have her mother move into her dormitory again. This time, her roommates were adults, some with boyfriends. They firmly opposed an elderly woman living in the dormitory. Wang Ruifeng, as before, acted aggressively and was reported to the school. The school, citing no precedent for parents living in dormitories, asked Wang Ruifeng to leave. She argued, "If I could live in Wuhan University, why not here? My daughter studies here, so I should live here too." Relations between Wang Ruifeng and the roommates hit rock bottom. They began to mock Yuan Yuan, even posting derogatory, big character posters. Wang Ruifeng refused to budge, leaving Yuan Yuan to face her peers' stares and frequent dormitory inspections, causing her great stress. Despite this, Wang Ruifeng forced her daughter to write an appeal letter to the school, asking for a room by praising her mother's hardships. As Yuan Yuan wrote the letter, she cried. The school rejected the request, stating postgraduates should be independent. Desperate, Yuan Yuan repeatedly pleaded until a teacher found her a 450 yuan per month rental. In 2008, this could only get a shabby, damp, and cold unfinished house in Shanghai. In late November, the mother and daughter slept on the floor without even a simple bed. Wang Ruifeng slept soundly, but Yuan Yuan lay awake, feeling the 刺骨 cold. She couldn't understand why, despite her intelligence and hard work, she was still 30 and destitute. She felt suffocated with no hope for the future. The next day, Yuan Yuan told her mother she needed to negotiate with the school again. Her mother agreed. That night, Yuan Yuan didn't return. Her mother, realizing something was wrong the next morning, went to the school and found Yuan Yuan hanging in the dormitory bathroom with a towel tied to the faucet. The coroner stated that with such a low hanging point, even a slight struggle would have saved her. But Yuan Yuan chose to endure the pain, indicating her determination to die. She left a 10-word suicide note. "I want to live my own life." Each word reflected her anguish and struggle. For 30 years, Yuan Yuan had sacrificed her privacy, friends, and entertainment, suppressing her grievances. When everything erupted, it was too late. Even after her death, her mother showed no remorse. Instead, she blamed the school, demanding 350,000 yuan in compensation, accusing them of heartlessness. The school leaders felt they had done their best, following regulations while offering help. But Wang Ruifeng persisted, keeping her daughter's body in the morgue for 19 days until the school, out of humanitarianism, compensated 160,000 yuan. Only then did she arrange the funeral. The day before her suicide, Yuan Yuan told her mother, "They say knowledge changes fate, but despite my education, I don't feel my life has improved." It seems Yuan Yuan never realized that under her mother's long-term control, she had lost her autonomy and the courage to break free. She couldn't escape this dependency and was ultimately pushed to the edge. Education can change lives, but it doesn't always grant courage. When opportunities arose, Yuan Yuan lacked the courage to seize them, leading to tragedy. What are your thoughts on the relationship between Yuan Yuan and her mother? Feel free to leave comments and share. See you in the next episode. Bye bye.